Hi, I'm Jess Marshall and I am a costume student at NIDA and this is my portfolio. So this is the Hamilton jacket. I saw the musical and I also watched YouTubers who made it and thought I'd give it a go. Also, buying the pattern supported the costume coalition in COVID, so I thought that was good for the community. And I did bobbin work for the embellishment because it was something I learnt at TAFE, so I wanted to show that off in my portfolio, so that was fun. And it's fully lined, and then I just did some hand sewing on the lining. This is my Regency dress. I'm really happy with this one because it worked really well. I hand sewed the lining to finish it off, like the flat felled seams and everything. And I like the way the box pleat ended up, and the pattern matching was good as well. And it's also really comfy. This one I made for year 12. It was a nature-inspired dance costume, and I needle felted all of the leaves here, and these are like 3 squares on top of each other, but they're staggered, so it was supposed to mimic leaves. And that was just kind of a response to me loving nature, because I'm from a farm essentially. So that was just relating back to me, and something that's important to me is my connection with nature and stuff. It's something I've always just found really nice. And this one is one of my favorites, my 18th century outfit. I made the dress while I was actually flooded in, ironically, at home. So that was kind of fun. The apron is all hand sewn and hand gathers, so the gathers turned out really nice. And yeah, I just liked how all of the pieces tied together to make a costume with more elements. I've just always loved 18th century and Regency. It's kind of the thing that got me into costume. I just love the period dramas, so I finally got to make one and I was very happy and frolicked around on the grass for ages in it. And then to go under it, I made a pair of 1780s stays, I believe they were, just for the support garment. And then this is just a close-up of my pleats. These are just more details showing the process, how I pinned them out, and then I basted them in place while I sewed them, which I think is important to show how you got to the end result. They like to see that. They like to know how your brain works. So I've included those, and then just little close-ups of my hand-finished hem just to show what's in the garments, because you can't always see the inside from the outside. And this is my Hobbit costume. This one I tried to do a bit of pattern making for, which I haven't really done before. So the shirt I made all myself. And I basically constructed it in the same way you would an 18th century shirt or a shift, but I added elastic in the sleeves to make it goofy. The skirt's just a gathered rectangle, and for the jacket, I took a pattern and then I just altered it. And it's not perfect, but I'd never done pattern making before, so I thought it wasn't too bad. And then again, I just included some close-ups of what I did inside. That's an underarm gusset. This is just close-ups of the front and the back and the side and my buttons. And this one was just more of a for fun project. It was a little wrap dress from the 1950s, which was fun to make. And I chose to contrast the binding to the rest just to add a bit of color and a pop. This is the jacket I actually made to apply for NIDA. And I basically wanted to do the opposite of what you do in a jacket. You'd probably make something structured, but I kind of just wanted to do the opposite of that, just to challenge myself and challenge the idea of a structured jacket, I guess. And that was my element of creativity I added to it. So I did chiffon and satin, and I ended up having to hand baste every piece together before sewing and then pinned it because it's double layered. I also made the bishop sleeves, these ones here, and this is just how I got to that. And yeah, that's just a drawing I did to conceptualize it in my head. Even though I sent this to NIDA, I think it was good to show how you made it, just to give them a bit more insight in the process you took to making it and how you got there. And this is a skirt I made at TAFE. So I did apply twice, and when I came to my first open day, they recommended to do a TAFE course if you were not successful the first year you applied. So I did do that, and this was one of the things we made, a block of ourselves. Then from that block we adapted whatever skirt we wanted. And then this embroidery was for another TAFE assessment. I think the most important thing when applying is you just have to be passionate about it. And when you do your interview, when you make your folio, just let that show. Just show you love it and show you want it. And don't be afraid to apply more than once. So that is, my folio for 2022.